Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Halloween is a creepy and subtle classic beloved by everyone, which naturally means it should be remade. By this guy. Because he really looks like a dude who understands subtlety. In 2007, famous rock star Rob Zombie decided John Carpenter's horror masterpiece of mass murderer Mike Myers' wacky shenanigans needed a retelling. While disliked by many, the remake did surprisingly manage to get a little bit of love from fans. Some applauded the changes and updates to the horror stable, while others saw it as gratuitously pointless. But, to his credit, the fact that it's being debated at all is a testament to the film, which would normally be bludgeoned at the mere mention of the idea. Over the years, the film has actually gained some street cred, and I'm here to ask, is it warranted? While most people agree the original is better, did Zombie actually tap into a different point of view that was unique enough to stand on its own? Did it create a version that actually does have a purpose for existing? Well, I'm here to find out. Let's give this movie a stabbing chance with the remake of Halloween. Thankfully dash the idea that this is a shot-by-shot Gus Van suckfest, because the film immediately starts off different by showing not 5 minutes of Michael Myers' childhood, but 40 minutes. In a 2-hour movie, no less. Now, some say this ruins the mystery of what Myers was like as a kid. Hey, look at that! Look at that! No shit! It's a friggin' remake of a classic. If it didn't do something this different, what's the point of even doing it? But showing more of his childhood isn't the issue here. The issue is whether or not it's done well. In the original, it looked like a middle American family. And Michael, for the short time we saw him, seemed like a normal kid. Wouldn't it make sense to really look at Myers as a kid and see where all of this came from?
Bitch, I will crawl over there!
Oh, it's just redneck assholes. Got it.
Just like here, that's all you do is cry and
Fuck
shit.
you.
Wait, we're stuck in this environment for more than 40 minutes? You just hammered in our head in the first 2 seconds why he's crazy. Why do more? Look, if you told me someone went crazy hearing Jim Carrey do that annoying sound from Dumb and Dumber for over 10 years, I believe you. We surprisingly don't need to hear it for 40 minutes to get the idea. We can kind of catch on. But this falls under a genre that Rob Zombie is something of an expert on, exploitation horror. It's meant to be unpleasant, exploitive, and extreme. In some respects, what the original Halloween was seen as when it first came out. So you could argue that the annoyance is part of the idea, but Christ, what an annoying idea! So Michael spends most of his time hurting things, screaming, and getting in pointless fights. Which is surprising he doesn't get along with people, seeing how every character in this movie is hurting things, screaming, and getting into pointless fights.
Hey, tough guy.
Shut up!
What the hell is going on here?
Fuck you.
What did you say, sir?
Fuck you.
Mr. Principal? His mother is called into, what else? Scream and yell.
I cannot keep coming down here like this.
I do not enjoy calling you down here every 5 minutes.
It sure seems like you fucking do.
Can I have one day of being a stereotypical hooker while my stereotypical bad son gets beaten by a stereotypical drunk dad? But groovy Dr. Loomis, played by Malcolm McDowell, is a child psychiatrist who noticed Michael's furry friends don't like playing with him very much.
Oh, God.
Typically the thrill of causing pain to smaller creatures. It's often an early warning sign.
Early warning sign for what?
Lady, what answer wouldn't be alarming? And then, this plays for some reason.
What do you mean problems? What is this?
He's a very disturbed young man.
I love the look on Myers' face, like, why is that playing now? Do we do anything to cue it? Oh my God, I must be in the wrong scene. I better run to where the music makes sense. Nope, doesn't make sense out here, it's just a kid walking. Didn't this theme used to be a big deal, like they played over major moments? Okay, it's dying down now. I guess it wasn't meant to be played over anything big. Rather before something big. You go back and read your How to Use Halloween theme manual. He beats the crap out of one of the kids that made fun of him, and he returns home to watch better horror movies.
Sweetie, look at me. I know things have been bad, but tomorrow we start to make everything better, okay?
I'll start by taking one step away from the camera, but not two. One step at a time. His sister doesn't take him trick-or-treating, though, because she's too busy making love to her boyfriend, who... Ah! Where's William Shatner masks?
Take that stupid thing off.
Oh, come on, babe. I want to do it with the mask on.
Kid, how old are you? You're so bored with sex you need to spice it up already? Follow-up question. This is spicing it up? Myers decides he wants to spice things up too as he duct tapes his dad and kills him. Nothing particularly motivates him to do it, he just decides, why not now? And for no additional motivation, let's throw the sister in there too. The mother comes home and finds that Michael is actually a pretty good babysitter, just not a good father, sister, or boyfriend sitter. Maybe I'll give that psychiatry thing a try.
You remember nothing about getting a knife?
I didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
I have to admit, there is something funny about him killing his family and then lying about it exactly how a little kid lies.
But you were covered in blood. Whose blood was it?
Don't believe the fake news. Both sides are to blame. He seems to be in denial about killing everyone, which again is an interesting mystery added on top of everything else. How much does he know and how much is a put on?
Please go home.
Afraid you can't go home.
Why?
Because you've done terrible things.
No, you're using your Malcolm McDowell all wrong. You're not supposed to let him act well. Don't you watch movies? You don't let a great actor like that give a good performance. Put him in shit like Tank Girl or Mr. Magoo and then we'll talk. It is interesting to see Loomis so sympathetic, hugging Michael, comforting him, really trying to help. I get why he was so one note in the original. It was to build up the danger of Myers. He's not a man, he's a monster and all that stuff. But here, he does see him as a child first. It's nice seeing what led up to that change of heart. Stuff like this probably had something to do with it.
What happened? What happened?
Myers seems too dangerous and unpredictable, even leading to his mother committing suicide. So he's locked away for years and clearly has been eating his Wheaties.
Don't look at me. I'll be a shitstorm in your worst nightmare, motherfucker.
You know, it's not uncommon for a director to put himself in his own films, but to wear stilts? Loomis tells Michael that after him not talking for 15 years, he has no choice but to move on. At first, he seems really sympathetic, even calling him his best friend.
In a weird way, you've become like my best friend.
But boy, I guess a crowd really brings out the worst in people.
Behind these eyes, one finds only blackness.
Yeah, previous scene?
Like my best friend.
Next scene.
Blackness.
Previous scene?
Take care, Michael.
Next scene.
These are the eyes of a psychopath.
You sure you're not the one that needs medicine? Caretakers brings Chester a bum in to have his way with one of the inmates. And they have the brilliant idea of bringing her into a cell with a gigantic homicidal maniac. What? This came out of nowhere? But Myers realizes murder is like Pringles and he can't stop at just one. He even kills the one guard who treated him well, playing to his unpredictability. Though honestly, I think he just wanted to stop Machete too. He realizes his paper mask should probably be put to rest, so he goes to his old stabbing ground and grabs his nostalgia goggles. Ha! The theme actually makes sense in this scene! Witchcraft! Halfway through the film, we're introduced to the main character of the original, Laurie. I do like how when she and her friends see Myers for the first time, she doesn't act scared, she instead calls him out.
Hey, asshole! Hey, my daddy's the sheriff! Huh? Why don't you go crawl back under your fucking rock?
Hey, rock is my trigger word. I'm gonna go complain on a blog about this.
The rest is kinda what you'd expect. He follows her around, they play the same music, and Myers starts killing people on Halloween night.
I got a rock. And stab brutally to death.
Even when he sneaks into other people's houses. I like the fact that he won't kill someone based on their taste in movies.
You know what? It's a good film. John Carpenter's is good too, but you'll appreciate the classics. Liv?
I do also like that Myers sneaks up so well that half the time you don't even notice him. For such an over-the-top film, little touches like that are pretty cool. But don't worry, it doesn't get too subtle. Chucky from Child's Play shares a scene with Alex from A Clockwork Orange. I've never seen two people not trying to be the monster still come across as the monsters.
You have created quite the masterpiece of a monster off the blood of this town.
I know it's in my bones, Sheriff.
Then you must promise that you will play it razor, and I mean razor straight with me.
These two could do a Christmas show and it'd still be terrifying. In a clever combination of Halloween 1 and 2, Loomis reveals that Myers is after his baby sister, Laurie, who we don't want to see die because she's the closest thing to a decent human being in this film.
Look at this, Mom.
Laurie!
I said almost. But Myers still has to get in some appetizers before the main course. And we never know what happened to her. Or this happens to her. We just like holding shots on doors. But fear not, there's even more confusing choices. Listen to Laurie's very bizarre, dare I say, ridiculously forced backstory after her mom committed suicide.
And I see this beautiful, innocent baby sitting in this bloody mess. I omit her from the report. I drive her to another town and drop her off at the nearest emergency room.
As sheriffs do! Christ, his manipulation of Theoden wasn't this crazy. To serve and do whatever the hell you want, I guess. Myers finally comes face to face with her, so probably best to have everything on close-up and shaking. It's like I'm really there, being shaken as a baby. He knocks her out and takes her to his old house to show that he's her brother. Not entirely sure what he had in mind, but either way, she says shit on that noise and tries to escape.
You know, this is why men never show vulnerability around women.
He traps her in an empty swimming pool, a unique spot for a climax. But Loomis shows up to end it all. No, really, it's totally over. You know the rules, you kill the monster once, he's never coming back. Oh man, you did that so fast you didn't even give me time to finish my joke. My favorite is when McDowell just flat out screams, "What the hell?" What the hell? Yeah, no, stab him in the eye, or Michael, stop, just, what the hell? As if to say, really? We're doing this shit? I expected more out of something I already expected less from. What the hell? Loomis tries to sympathize, but Michael helps him see eye to eye by literally trying to push his eyes together. Laurie hides inside the house and honestly does way too good a job because he literally searches for her for 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes of just silence and him looking around. Look, I know you want to build suspense, but you know the saying, so boring I'd rather stare at a wall? Well, Myers is literally staring at a wall for most of the time. I think more could be done here. But it's okay, it's then followed by 2 minutes of Myers just stabbing the ceiling trying to get her. Is there such a thing as horror movies for plastered? Because that's what I feel like I'm watching. Let me guess, he's gonna hit the ceiling. I'm a wizard! And what's his great final plan to finish her off? He just runs towards her. And she's like, dumbass, I got a gun. She shoots him, she screams, and that's it. Halloween! So, this clearly isn't as good as the original, but I will give it this. It is the second best Michael Myers Halloween movie. But that's coming from a series that has this.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
So take it for what it's worth. I know it's different, a little clumsy, and arguably unnecessary, but in a strange way, I think it would work less if Zombie didn't direct it. The shocksploitation style has never been my thing, but it is a style that can be done good or bad. This does it good, but not great. It is a different direction, and sometimes it does tie into the traditional Halloween callbacks. It's kind of like Halloween, but in an alternate universe. The best stuff is in the mental hospital, and seeing him grow up did make me look at the killings in kind of a different way. It made me wonder what was going on in his mind when he was murdering them, while in the original you're more concerned about Laurie surviving. It's hit and miss, I suppose, but honestly for a remake of one of the most famous horror films of all time, hit and miss is pretty impressive. It's strange and doesn't always work, but the stuff that does is kind of interesting. Take a look and see for yourself. I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it so you don't have to. Hello, Doug Walker here, doing the charity shout out, and this week we are doing the American Kidney Fund. This is the nation's leading nonprofit working on behalf of the 30 million Americans with kidney disease. Their mission is to help people fight kidney disease and live healthier lives, and they fulfill that mission by providing a complete spectrum of programs and services, including prevention activities, top-rated health educational resources, and direct financial assistance. They invest in clinical research to improve outcomes for kidney patients, and they fight tirelessly on Capitol Hill for legislation and policy supporting the issues that are important to the people they serve. In 2006, they celebrated their 45th anniversary. They spend 97 cents of every donated dollar on programs that directly serve and educate patients and the public. They've also received the highest ratings from charity watchdog groups year after year. If you go to their site and their YouTube channel, you can not only see all the good that they do, but also see the helpful advice that they give in web seminars on how to treat this illness. They work so hard and they deserve your support. Give them a look and figure out how you can make a big impact in somebody's life.